Can you see my... Ay, wala pala. Wait pala ako. Yan, can you see my slide? Ay, yan. Kita nyo ba? O hindi? Okay, sige. So, good afternoon, class. I think this is the last lecture yata on ano, for the school year on biochemistry. So, my topic today is transcription. So, it is the second part of the central dogma. I think you've discussed already the first part, which is replication. That's the DNA to DNA. And then this one, transcriptions, the DNA to RNA. And the last part is translation, which I think yun yung lecture nyo kanina. Translation. So that's RNA to protein. Now we will discuss today is about transcription. So all of the living organisms in the are in our and also the eukaryotes, prokaryotes has the central dogma. Okay, from expression of the genetic code to the its translation to the protein. So ito yung gitna. Kasi walang DNA to protein. Kailangan dumaan muna sa RNA. Okay? So familiar na kayo majority naman dito sa central dogma, especially yung mga may mga pre-med na biology and biochemistry. So in Harper, the chapter is in the chapter 36. Okay, this is our objectives. At the end of the lecture, the student should be able to differentiate between the different RNA in the cell and their functions. Because different RNA has different functions. Yep. As you have seen in translation, yung iba-ibang RNA ginamit yun sa protein synthesis. And enumerate the molecules involved in the RNA synthesis. So dito lang kayo medyo mahirapan pagdating sa pagbabasa ng libro, lalo na kunyari sa Harper. Napakadaming mga terms at may mga walang mga shortcut na terms doon, kaya nakakalito kung paano intindihin. Pero in general, bibigyan lang natin kayo ng overview nung mismong transcription. Yung mga nitty-gritty details, mababasa niyo yun sa libro. So, and third objective is to describe the process of the mRNA splicing, because the mRNA or the primary RNA that will be formed during transcription, kailangan pa yung i-modify. Hindi lahat na nandun is coding. And it has non-coding sequences that are needed to be spliced in order to produce protein for translation. Lastly, to discuss some orders associated with errors in the transcription process. So again, as with all of my lecture, this is just a supplement for your learning. You still need to read your book. So, pasasabi ko lang na magiging challenging lang ngayon yung chapter na to in Harper, but you can use other books for you to better understand transcription. Okay. So here are the different classes of RNA. So you can see here in the table, there are many, di ba? Many types of RNA, but there are only three major, yung pinaka-importanting kailangan kabisado nyo or nababasa nyo sa kahit yung mga pre-med pa lang kayo. That is mRNA or the messenger RNA, the rRNA or the ribosomal RNA, and the tRNA or the transfer RNA. Okay? The tRNA and the ribosomal RNA are involved in translation, di ba? And the mRNA is the one that has the genetic information that is copied from the template DNA. The rest mga minor na RNA sila pero it is involved also in different functions of the cell. For example, here is the major functions of different RNA. So the mRNA is the for protein coding. rRNA is where translation occurs. So nasa ribosomes yan. So depende kung free ribosome in the cytoplasm or in the rough endoplasmic membrane. So R is a RER. So yun nagpapagawang rough nung endoplasmic membrane, yung ribosomes. Na RNA ang component. So next is the tRNA. Yan naman yung mga may anticodon na trinucleotide sequence na may equivalent dun sa translation na protein, na amino acid pala. Okay? Siya yung nagdadala ng mga siya nagbibigay ng code na may corresponding amino acid. And the long non-coding RNA and the small nuclear RNA for RNA splicing, the micro and silencing RNA are used for gene expression modulation. Okay, but yung three lang yung major na kailangan importante yung kabisado. So, basically, transcription has three steps: the initiation, elongation, and termination. So, the part of initiation yung pinaka-importante sa transcription. Mabilis na lang yung elongation and termination eh. So, its properties is like DNA polymerase in replication, the addition of new nucleotides will be on the 5' to 3' direction. So, lagi sa 3' direction nung ginagawang bagong strand. For example, here is RNA. So, 3', ang RNA polymerase maglalagay sa 3' direction. But it is composed of large multi-component initiation and polymerization complex. So napakadaming involved nito na proteins dito sa transcription, unlike sa replication na kabisado, madaling makabisado yung iba't ibang mga proteins involved in DNA replication. Dito sa RNA, napakadaming proteins, kaya complex ang tawag sa kanila. And it is adherent to the Watson and Crick base pairing rules. So, ibig sabihin, cytosine will be paired with guanosine and adenosine. Here, in RNA synthesis, instead of thymine, it will be paired with uracil. Yung A magiging U ang pair niya, hindi A and T. Kasi sa DNA yung T. Okay, yun yung major difference. And ito pala, major differences with DNA synthesis. Yung pinaka-main is yung mako-form na sugar in DNA, deoxyribonucleotides, while in RNA, kaya siya R, ribonucleotides ang ginagamit na the base, na backbone. And U replaces T as a complementary base pair for A in RNA. Okay? Main difference then in transcription, unlike in DNA that needs a primer or an RNA primer, in transcription, The RNA polymerase does not need any primer in order to initiate transcription. But it needs many proteins or it needs to have the complex. Okay? Portions of the genome are vigorously transcribed into RNA. And then no highly active and efficient proofreading function. So yun lang disadvantage ng transcription. So may majority nag-depend siya, 'di ba? Napaka-strict ng DNA sa proofreading in order for mutation not to happen. So parang dahil alam niyang stricto yung DNA replication, hindi na ganun ang RNA synthesis hindi na ganun ka-strict and wala na siyang proofreading kung nagkaroon man ng error sa transcription. Okay, so ang pinaka first ang defense ng transcription is yung kung gaano ka-effective yung DNA proofreading. Dahil mas less niya yung kanyang proofreading. Okay? So the main enzyme involved in transcription is the RNA polymerase. Because ito yung enzyme na gumagawa ng RNA sequences. So it catalyzes the formation of mRNA or the messenger RNA using DNA as its template. And there's no need for primers to initiate the synthesis. Its structure has 12 subunits which is composed of alpha subunits which are involved in promoter recognition, while the beta subunits is involved in the catalytic site. So, sa initiation, sa paghahanap ng sequence, yung alpha subunit ng ng RNA polymerase ang tagahanap, pero yung beta subunits naman niya ang taga mismong produce or elongate ng mismong RNA sequence. Alright? Here, in eukaryotes, prokaryotes kasi mga bacteria, isa lang yung RNA polymerase kasi wala naman silang nucleus. So in eukaryotes like us, we have different RNA polymerase because RNA synthesis or transcription happens in the nucleus. Tapos lalabas na lang yung na-produce nilang RNA to the cytosol for translation. So, different RNA polymerase have different products. For example, RNA polymerase 1 will produce the rRNA in the ribosomes. RNA polymerase 2 will produce the mRNA and microRNA, while RNA polymerase 3 will produce the tRNA and the 5S rRNA. Okay? For the initiation, so we will start sa mRNA muna, and then next is rRNA and then the tRNA. For the initiation, in the template region of DNA, hahanapin nung RNA polymerase yung promoter region sequence, which is the TATA box, the TATA box, and the CAAT box, which are located in this area. So the TATA box is usually 25 base pair upstream from the transcription unit. And the CAAT box is 35 nucleotides from the start region. So malapit lang sila. Ito yung mga region na pag nakita nung RNA polymerase, alam nila na dyan yung area kung saan sila magsa-start ng RNA synthesis, mRNA synthesis. And then the next step will be the complex assembly. Di ba sabi ko sa initiation, maraming mga complex and proteins na need mag-combine in order to initiate the transcription. So this is what we call the general transcription factors are assembled first with RNA polymerase 2 before they would attach to the protein. So mauuna yung pag-combine ng mga complexes bago sila mag-attach mismo sa actual protein. Here. So you can see on the picture on the right, Ito yung DNA strand, yung coding and the template strand. The template strand is the one in the 3' to 5' direction of the DNA because the RNA will form in that 5' to 3' direction. Okay? Yung sa picture, makita nyo may mga 80-80 or TATA, yung tinatawag na TATA box. Yan yung first promoter region. The next upstream pa is yung may ACAGT. Yan yung CAAT box. Okay, yan yung dalawang main promoter region na mare-recognize nung complex. And yung complex has different, and then after that complex, yung mismong transcribe region, yung area kung saan mangyayari ang transcription. Sa complex, majority ang proteins are the transcription factor 2D, TF2D, the TATA binding protein, or the TBP, and also the TBP associated factors. So ito yung reason kung bakit medyo mahirap at nakakalito basahin yung chapter sa transcription kasi hindi masyadong shortcut or wala masyadong mnemonic yung mga proteins dito. Parang inuulit-ulit lang so masyadong technical. Okay, yung TATA binding proteins, TBP, pero yung TAF, TBP rin yun na associated factors. Kaya kaya medyo may challenging i-memorize. But you should just read it so that you will understand the concept. But you should memorize these complexes also dahil in terms of exam, lalabas din sila. Yan, ito na, mas magulo na dahil marami na mismo literal na complex yung mga magbabind to assemble before binding to the protein. Okay? Ayun yung, as you can see in the picture on the right, merong TF2D that will bind to TATA box via TBP. And then TF2A and TF2B will bind immediately after. And after that, the RNA polymerase 2 with TF2F arrives and binds. Kaya nakakalito kasi puro na lang transcription factor 2. Tas letters lang sila. Wala silang mga specific na na pangalan sa kanila. So mga letters ang kailangan i-memorize dito. And then the fourth step is the release of RNA polymerase 2 from the promoter, and the elongation requires TF2F, H, and J. Okay? So, once kompleto na yung, ang sinasabi lang dito, once kompleto na yung complex, magbabind na ngayon yung complex dun sa mismong promoter region. And then, in order for RNA polymerase to start its transcription or elongation, yung gagawa na siya ng sequence, kailangan ma-release yung yung mga transcription factor 2 complexes. Except the transcription factor D pala to, hindi to H. D ang kailangan magstay. Yun lang yung naiiwan. Okay? So there is what we also call enhancers. So iba to sa promoters. So enhancers are sequences involved in gene regulation. So it will increase transcription from any promoter and must make contact with the transcription apparatus. It may be located upstream or downstream from the promoter, and it is consists of recognition sites and binds several proteins. So DNA between the promoter loops around when an enhancer switches an gene on. Ito, may picture tayo dito. So yan, pwede yung enhancer na sequence nandun siya sa downstream part pa ng gene. Okay? kaya mangyari, maglo-loop around siya dun sa complex in order for the transcription to increase its activity. Okay? 'Di ba napakagulo na ng mismong complex na kung saan nagsa-start ang transcription. Kung kailangan may mga other sequences na magpapa-promote para mag-increase pa ng or mapabilis yung transcription, yun yung enhancers. Pero kailangan mag-interact sila. So, para mag-interact sila doon sa complex, kailangan nila mag-loop around. Kaya in this picture, nag-loop around yung sequence para ma-attract yung complex. Para masabihin sila na mas kailangan pa nilang bilisan yung paggawa ng RNA. Kasi kailangan ng body mag-produce ng protein. Ganyan nangyayari sa regulation. Diba? May ang upregulation ng hormones and downregulations. So that's what happens. Next is the CTD or the carboxy terminal domain in the initiation. So transcription factor 2H must phosphorylate CTD, the carboxy terminal domain of RNA polymerase, before it can move. So, since yung TF2H ang naiwan, kailangan niya ma-phosphorylate yung carboxy terminal part ng RNA polymerase so that it can move forward at makapaglagay ng mga new nucleotides. So, specific CTD sequences phosphorylated are serine, yan, yung tyrosine, serine, proline, and threonine na sequences, yung YSP, ESPS. Okay? In serine number 5, it is initially the one with mostly phosphorylated, which is associated with successful elongation and transcriptional modification at the 5 end. Or yan yung part na tina-target for capping in the modification after ma-produce yung primary RNA. Meron kasing tinatawag later na 5' capping and poly-A tail elongation. So, etong serine 5 yung pinophosphorylate to initiate that. And in serine number 2, associated with successful polyadenylation of the tail of the RNA polymerase 2. So yung RNA P, yan yung RNA polymerase ha. So serine 2 naman yung poly-A tail adenylation that's involved with it or associated with it. So itong CTD is useful for the post modification later on once na-produce na yung primary RNA. Now, there is a disorder known as xeroderma pigmentosum, which has a defect in phosphorylation of the CTD because there is a mutation in the transcription factor 2H. Okay? TF2H, ang ginagawa kasi niya, di ba, sa CTD is phosphorylate. Now, kung may defect in phosphorylation, dahil mutated ang TF2H, nagkakaroon ng xeroderma pigmentosum. So, it is an autosomal dominant disorder and the symptoms are severe photosensitivity, ng brief exposure lang to sunlight will result in vesicular lesions and of the skin with burning sensation. Okay? Now, yun pa lang, ang haba ng initiation, di ba? Kasi yun yung pinakamahabang part na sa formation of complexes. Now, for the elongation, it only has the two requirements. The first one we've already discussed, the phosphorylation of CTD via TF2H. The second one is the general transcription factor should have dissociated from the complex except TF2D. So yung two requirements for elongation. So pag na-dissociate na yung complex, may iwan yung TF2D, pwede na mag-proceed sa elongation yung mRNA. So here, the RNA polymerase core enzyme opens up the DNA double helix to form a transcription bubble. Ito yung sa picture before. Yan. Nag-open up ng transcription bubble yan. Parang yung sa DNA helicase, right? So, may core enzyme yung RNA polymerase. Di ba walang pangalan din? Ang tawag lang niya RNA polymerase core enzyme. Kaya mas nakakalito talaga yung transcription. And then, the single strand of RNA that is generated using one of the strands as a template. And then the subunit is no longer needed and detaches from the DNA. RNA polymerase remains at the promoter until a new strand is 8 or 9 bases long. So mabagal yung pag-move ng RNA forward or downstream bago siya mag-produce ng next, bago siya gumalaw, kailangan makapag-produce ng 8 to 9 bases muna yung new RNA strand. And the core enzyme will travel along the RNA because that's the way yung core enzyme kasi yung unwind yung DNA para makapag-pair yung hybrid yung RNA sa DNA. So sasabay yung core enzyme dun sa RNA polymerase. And successive residues are added to the 3' hydroxyl terminus. So same lang din nung sinabi natin kanina, yung dahil polymerase siya, sa 3' siya lagi mag-add of the nascent RNA until termination signal is encountered. So later yung termination signal, dalawang klase kasi yon. So first transcribed base is always a purine, either A or G. And synthesis, again, of our mRNA is 5' to 3'. And compared to DNA, it is slower because it has 40 nucleotides per second lang compared to DNA replication. So the regulation of mRNA. So there are two proteins that bind to RNA polymerase 2 and post-transcription of genes. First, the DSIF or the DRB sensitivity inducing factor and the negative elongation factor. So ito yung dalawang proteins na nagpo-pause ng transcription. Pause pa lang to hindi pa siya terminate. Because kapag nag-bind yung dalawang protein na to sa DNA, sa RNA polymerase, babagal siya and magpo-pause. Ngayon, para to continue the elongation process, there should be a positive transcription elongation factor or the opposite nung NELF, which is a kinase, which is required to which phosphorylates the NELF and the DSIF. Okay? DSIF, wala naman siya gagawin kundi phosphorylate lang. Pero negative elongation factor, once it phosphorylates, yung positive transcription elongation factor na phosphorylate niya yung negative elongation factor, it will allow for the elongation to continue. So may mga time during transcription na babagal siya pag nakaka-encounter siya ng dalawang protein na to. Pero babalik ulit siya or magko-continue pa rin siya naman ng elongation kapag na-phosphorylate nung positive transcription elongation factor. Okay. So the third part is the termination. So kailan, dahil ang natapos tayo sa initiation, elongation, kailan naman magsa-stop na yung RNA synthesis? There are two ways, which is one is the intrinsic termination and the other is the raw protein dependent termination. So start muna tayo dito sa intrinsic. Sa intrinsic termination, once maka-encounter yung gene, naka-encounter ng gene which is a terminator sequence in the template strand of DNA, which is composed of two inverted repeats separated by a half dozen of bases and followed by a run of adenines or A. Kung maraming A's, a string of A in the DNA template corresponds kasi to the rise in runs of uracil. Di ba yung A, adenine will pair with uracil in RNA synthesis. Pero pag sunod-sunod na adenine, yung isang sequence, yun ay signal ng transcription to stop. Kasi ang mapuproduce na niya, puro uracil, U sa 3' end. So once mangyari yon, once the RNA polymerase reaches the stem and loop, it pauses. So katulad nung nangyari sa negative elongation factor na magpo-pause, eto pag nakakita rin yung RNA polymerase ng puro uracil, nakapag-produce siya uracil, magkakaroon ng loop in order to and in order to form the a hairpin structure that will cause the RNA to slow down or stop briefly. Okay? Pag na-confirm na puro UUU ang sequence na na-produce, yun is time na mag-terminate or mag-stop na yung RNA synthesis. So, kaya intrinsic kasi within the gene yung factor ng pag-terminate. Okay, ito yung drawing niya. You can see in the picture sa lower right, nagkaroon ng stem loop para magsabi na puro UUU na yung napoproduce ng yung mga ng RNA sequence. So hindi na masyadong functional yan or hindi na yung coding. Yan lang yung nagsasabi na na yan, kailangan ng stop. So yan yung first termination signal. Next termination signal is the raw protein dependent termination. So here naman sa raw protein dependent termination, yung raw protein is a specialized helicase that uses energy from ATP to unwind the DNA RNA hybrid double helix. So it does not form a closed ring but a lock washer structure. So it unwinds the DNA RNA helix and separates the two strands. So parang nagbigay siya naman external factor siya na naghihiwalay do sa two strands kaya eventually magta-terminate na yung RNA synthesis. Okay? Kasi siya helice siya. So pinaghiwalay niya yung strand. So wala na magsa-stop na yung base pairing or RNA polymerase 2 to continue pa the transcription. So yun yung two types of termination in RNA transcription. Here, the green one is the protein. Okay. So once ma-encounter yan nung transcription bubble, it's signal to terminate or stop the transcription na. Then after transcription, the primary sequence, magkakaroon pa siya ng or post-transcriptional modification. As I have said earlier, hindi pa yun yung final na product niya na magpo-proceed sa translation. So RNAs needs to be modified by cleavage of original transcript by ribonucleases. So ito yung four main modifications na ginagawa sa primary mRNA. First is the capping or the modification of 5' end. Di ba ito yung pinag-usapan natin kanina sa serine 5 saka yung serine 2. Next is the formation of poly-A tail. And the next is splicing of mRNA to remove the introns. And the last one is the second methylation. Second methylation kasi ang first methylation is yung capping ng 5' end kasi methylation din yun. So we'll discuss each Briefly, so capping or the modification of the 5' end involves the attachment of a cap to prevent premature degradation. So parang nagkaroon lang ng cover yung mRNA na na-produce para hindi ma-degrade ng ibang mga enzymes sa sa cell or sa nucleus. So occurs at the 5' end of the mRNA. May iba-iba pa yan. Tinatawag na cap zero, because it is not attached to a base, it will methylate glutamine at the carbon 7 site position. Okay? And cap1 and cap2, the first and second nucleotide transcript methylation at the C2' end. Okay, as you can see in the picture on the right. So yung cap0 na dun sa upper left, yung methyl guanosine, cap1 yung first nucleotide and cap2 second nucleotide. So ang point lang dyan, minimethylate yung parts ng 5' end para hindi masyadong ma-attack ng mga enzymes, lytic enzymes for degradation. Kailangan kasi mag-survive yung mRNA na na-produce to in translation. Next is yung sa kabilang end naman. Yung sa dulo naman, kung yung 5' nilagyan ng cap, sa buntot naman or the 3' end, kailangan maglagay ng poly-A tail or adenine tail. Maraming AAA na sequence. So, protection ulit to, yun lang din yung pinaka function niya for protection of degradation. Okay, the tail signal is the AAUAA with CA as dinucleotide and GU to check if it's on the right track. Polyadenylation complex consists of poly-A polymerase, ito yung enzyme na nagpo-produce ng multiple poly-A tail, poly-A binding proteins or the PABP, and the cleavage polyadenylation specialty factor. O, di ba, lalo nakakagulo kasi nga wala masyadong ibang puro mga letters lang ang nilalagay dito eh. Kaya hindi masyadong madaling ma-memorize yung mga enzymes and proteins in transcription. So yan. So, ang pinaka gist lang dito is that for the formation of poly-A tail, there needs to be first a cleavage ng pinakadulo or the 3' 3' end of the mRNA, and that 3' end will be the one to be attached with poly-A tail via poly-A polymerase at the 3' end. Okay? Because the poly-A tail is needed in as a signal for translation. Bukod sa mismong to protect the mRNA for degradation. So yun ay dalawang dulo, di ba? 5' cap, 3' poly-A tail. Now, in between ng mRNA, merong mga tinatawag na introns or yung mga sequences na hindi naman ginagamit or hindi naman makakatulong dun sa pag-produce ng proteins. Series of introns and exons yung mga nandun. Exons yung mga encoding, introns yung mga interfering or na in between lang ng exons. So there is a need to splice the mRNA for modification. So ang proteins na evolved dito is the small nuclear ribonucleoproteins or the SNRNP, so SNRPs. It is composed of snRNA. Ito, dito yung isa pang RNA na napag-usapan natin, snRNA, and a protein part. So the snRNA is the one that recognizes the 5' and 3' splice sites and the branch sites. So ibig sabihin yan, yung bawat dulo ng exons, siya yung nakaka-recognize nun. While the protein part supervises the cutting and joining reaction. So recognition ang snRNA, while yung action mismo, yung cutting and joining, yung the protein part ng SNRPs. Okay? When we say branch sites, the residue that we are talking about is the adenine residue during splicing. Okay? And also, there's an enzyme called spliceosomes which are required to recognize AGGU sequences. So, ito yung enzymes na sa splice ng mga introns para puro exons na lang yung mga magkakatabi in the post-translational modification. So, yan. Ito yung general na gustong gawin ng splicing to remove the introns. Okay, discrimination is accompanied by the formation of base pairs between U1 RNA and the sequence of the mRNA precursor surrounding the donor GU sequences. Okay. So another SNRP containing U2 RNA recognizes important 3' acceptor end of the intron. So yung picture dito sa right, you can see yung U1, yung 5' end ng intron, yung marirecognize niya, while the U2 will recognize the 3' end of the intron. So yan, para malaman ko hanggang saan yung extent ng introns na isa-splice mamaya nung SNRP. And then other SNRPs like U5 and U6 bind to RNA precursor forming a spliceosome. So yung ibang parts pa ng SNRPs will form the spliceosome na which uses ATP to remove the introns accurately. Okay? So tatanggalin yung intro, i-cleave yung introns, then makikita yung 3' at 5' nung hanging part ng exons na magkabilang dulo, kailangan naman siya i-connect. Okay? So, ito lang din yun. Ang nagko-connect is yung PG is used to form linkages with the 2' H group of adenosine within the introns to form a lariat. Okay, ang lariat, ang pinaka port lang ng lariat is the one, yung nagka-curve na yan, yung nasa picture ng letter D and E. Yan yung formation ng lariat. Kasi i-curve niya yan in order to splice para ma-remove and then mag-connect yung dalawang dark blue na exons. Okay? So that's for splicing. The fourth modification is the second methylation. Diba yung first methylation is the 5' guanosine cap. Ito yung second methylation. So second methylation is methylation of nucleotides in the mature mRNA, specifically on C2 and N7 of adenosine and the 5' UTRs and 3' to prevent premature decay of premature RNA. So additional lang to na methylation na ginagawa. Here. So degradation. Ngayon, once the mRNA now is used, for example, na nakapag-translate na siya at nakapag-produce na siya ng protein, in order for mRNA to be degraded, kailangan ma-remove yung mga nilagay na mga modifications. So, first is yung cap. As you can see in the picture on the right, yung 5' cap niya, kailangan mo na ma-remove. Next will be the removal of the poly A tail. Kaya letter C, makikita nyo na cleave na yung poly A tail sa dulo. So, and after that, yung mga endonucleases, in letter D, yun yung mag-cleave ng iba't ibang parts ng mRNA in order for it to be degraded. Okay, so yung dalawang dulo ulit, cap, poly A tail, and then endonucleases. Yun yung in general na degradation ng mRNA. Yan, ito basahin niyo to sa book yung mga details na to. Pero yun yung pinaka basic lang na way ko paano mag degrade ng mRNA. O, 'di ba? Ito may mga ano pa, CCRT4 and chromatin sensory factors na yan yung sinasabi ko na another sample ng mga maraming mga terms na makakalito pag hindi mo inintindi mismo yung main functions nung ano or main idea in mRNA transcription and degradation. Okay? Now, tapos na tayo sa messenger RNA, we go now to rRNA. So, in general, same lang din yung process. Iba-iba lang involved na complexes, synthesis, and then post-modification. For rRNA synthesis, it is facilitated by RNA polymerase 1 instead na 2. So it is synthesized located at the nucleolus. So more inside pa. Nasa loob na ng nucleus pero yung nucleolus pa ay mas inner. So occurs one after the other in the chromosome, or it is called tandem repeats, and it has a core promoter and upstream core element, which is G and C rich regions, and it recognizes by upstream binding factor 1. So parang yung mRNA complex, ang meron lang siyang core promoter na imbes na tata box or kaya kaat box dito, G and C rich regions yung sa rRNA. Okay? Yung upstream binding factor 1 binds to both the upstream control element and the core promoter. And then there's a selectivity factor SL1 that binds. So UBF1 and SL1 are in place, which RNA polymerase 1 can bind with the help of transcription factor 1A. So in short, ano pa rin to? Production pa rin ng complex assembly in order to form rRNA. So ganun pa rin yun. Iba lang yung mga complex or factors na tawag sa kanila. So sa rRNA, UBF1 and SL1. Tsaka yung transcription factor niya, TF1A. Di ba sa messenger RNA, TF, iba-ibang letters yun, A, B, D, H, F. Tapos yung maiiwan yung D, tapos yung H involved sa phosphorylation. While here in RNA, ang mga importanteng kailangan nyo memorize yung UBF1, SL1, tsaka TF1A. Okay? So, it is the assembly of initiation complex that will produce to RNA transcription. Then magpo-produce siya sa elongation and then termination similar to mRNA. Now, in modification, in post-modification of rRNA, in rRNA, primary transcript has to be formed first before modification. And then, after the cleavage and degradation of the linker regions, you are left with mature rRNA, which is 18S, 5.8S, and 28S. Okay, after nung splicing ng mga introns. As you can see in the picture on the right. So, yung 13S, 5.8S, saka 28S are the exon part of the primary pre-RNA. Pero kailangan nilang ma-splice to form the different rRNAs. And then methyl groups may serve as a marker for cleavage of the 45S precursor and are conserved in the mature RNA. Okay? So base modification, ang required for base modification of rRNA are the guide molecules or guide RNA or gRNA, also known as small nucleolar RNAs. So ito yung mga RNAs na sinasabi ko sa inyo na hindi masyadong napapansin or hindi masyadong nakikita sa table or pinag-uusapan. Yan yun. Sila ang functions nila is for modification of rRNA. So the small nucleolar RNA locates the correct sites for modification by base pairing. So here, in general, here is the summary of rRNA synthesis. Okay, so the 5S rRNA is transcribed into the nucleoplasm and moves into the nucleolus. And other rRNAs are transcribed from the DNA and mature in the nucleolus, forming 40S and 60S ribosomal units which migrate to the cytoplasm. So yung pinaka-mature na nakikita nating ribosomes na nakita sa free cytoplasm or the rough endoplasmic reticulum will now go to the cytoplasm. Okay? Different rRNA will just combine to form different subunits of ribosomes. And lastly, tRNA. So tRNA, ito yung have a cloverleaf structure that folds into 3D L shape and contains several bases that are modified post-transcriptionally. So ito yung picture ng final product ng tRNA. Maraming yung mga loops. Isa-isayin natin structure. The first loop, the loop closest to the 5' end is the D loop. Kasi ang D loop, meron siyang containing dihydrouridine. Ito yung nasa left side, yung D loop. Next is the anticodon loop, which contains the trinucleotide anticodon that base pairs with the codon on mRNA. So, ito yung yung anticodon loop, yan yung nagpe-pair dun sa mRNA na may corresponding amino acid dun sa 3' end. Okay? Sa ano yan, mas makikita nyo yan sa involved yan sa translation. And next is the third loop, which contains the ribothiamidine or the T and the pseudouridine. Yung nasa right side. Yan yung T and pseudouridine. Yan yung isa pang loop. And meron pang tinatawag na variable loop is in between. Ayun yung parang lawit nung anticodon and third loop in between. Okay? The variable loop. So, yan yung 4 major loops in the tRNA. Now, how is it formed? Generally, same pa rin naman. Iba lang yung mga tawag dun sa mga complex nila. So, for example, the promoters are uniquely located internal to the genes. So, it is called the internal control region. Diba? Internal control region. Or yung sa mRNA, yung Tata box, Kaat box. In tRNA, the internal control region. And the transcription factors that are involved here are transcription factor A or transcription factor 3C, which bind to a recognition region which is around 5 base pair downstream from the site. Now, once bound, they enable transcription factor B to bind to the region around the start site. Okay, and that assembly of the initiation complex then proceeds to tRNA transcription. So, dito sa tRNA, ang complex mas konti, ABC lang ang mga transcription factors niya. Pero ang RNA polymerase niya, RNA polymerase 3. Then after elongation and termination, which has the same concept in mRNA, the post-modification of tRNA has 3 parts. First, the cleavage, next is the addition, and then the third one is the base modification. As you can see in the picture on the right, ganyan yung primary, ganyan itsura ng primary tRNA. Meron pa siyang parang mahabang base sa taas. So, kailangan yun ma-cleave ng ribonuclease. Okay, the ribonuclease P removes 5' extensions by endonucleotic activity cleavage. And then the 3' end is trimmed exonucleotically so that dun magbabind sa 3' end yung amino acid. Kaya magiging hydroxyl group yun. And it has two components. One remove the introns and the other reseals the chain. Okay. So yan yung cleavage. RNase P. And now the addition, yung second part, the CCA sequence and the 3' terminus usually added by the tRNA nucleotidyl transferase, which uses ATP and CTP as substrate and incorporates them into the at a ratio of 2C and to 1A. Okay, yan yung mag-form ng hydroxyl group. And last part is the base modification. So base modification may be a one-step methylation or multi-step synthesis. It occurs simultaneously with endonucleotic cleavage. So yung first step, yung nag-cleave nung extra base sa taas, sa 3' saka 5' end, pwedeng kasabay niya yung base modification. It serves beta glycosidic bonds between ribose and the base. So the pseudo uridine at the D loop and uracil is methylated by some for sorry, forming ribothymin. And then the amination of adenine forming hyposanthine. So ito na yung last part ng modification para maging fully mature na tRNA siya. Yan. Here, for the summary of tRNA synthesis. So, the first part, DNA, replication, mag-open. And then transcription. Ito yung first part na mayroong pang extra 3' saka 5' end, yung kulay gray. And then may intron pa do sa anticodon loop. Dapat yun eh. Pero may extra pa na gene sequence. So, kailangan ma-splice yun. And also ma-cleave yung 3' saka 5' na ends. So, na-splice na yung sa second step, na-remove na intron. So, free pa lang na hydroxyl group yung nasa anticodon loop and kailangan mag-close yun. So, sa pagka-close, need mag-modify ng bases with addition of CAA or the anticodon. And then, once it is on mature tRNA, pwede na siya lumabas sa nuclear pore to go to the cytoplasm for translation. Okay? So that's the end. We've covered all the objectives, the different RNA, majority mRNA, rRNA, and tRNA, and enumerate the different molecules involved in the synthesis. So majority ng mga involved na molecules are the initiation complex. Different initiation complex in different types of RNA. And then describe the process of mRNA splicing, which is removal of introns and combination of exons, and some of the disorders like pigmentosum. With that, thank you. Do you have any questions? Kaya ang hirap itong intindihin sa sa libro. Although yung general idea is movement changing of DNA to RNA lang. And the RNA will be the one to become will be used as code for translation into protein synthesis. Okay? Parang naintindihan nyo yung end, but yung means, yung kung paano ginagawa yun, ang dami palang nangyayari doon in between. So you just need to review and read so that mas maintindihan nyo siya. Okay? With that, thank you. Wala na mga questions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Carlos. No?
Thank you, Doc.